author of Dogs Taught Me Everything I Know About Business. Dan Geltrude. Dan, good morning. Okay, so while off to a bit of a rocky start, the market didn't change that much yesterday, but futures are currently mixed ahead of the opening bell. What do you think we see from the markets today?
Well, it's always hard to predict in the short term what's going to happen, right? Because you're talking about timing the market, which of course no one can really do. So if you look at this more from a long-term perspective, because the markets are so headline driven, it's hard to say what will happen in the short term. But the long term, I think we can continue to expect a lot more fluctuations, particularly as the administration works through the tariff situation. I think once that starts to settle, and at some point it will, I think that we'll see a lot more calmer waters, let's say, in the market.
Yes, and that is certainly what we are hoping for. So IBM announcing a $150 billion investment into the United States as the computer company looks to, quote, accelerate its role as the global leader in computing. The company, which manufactures its mainframes in Poughkeepsie, New York, will invest the money over the next 5 years to fuel the economy. All right, Dan, what do you make of this announcement? Do you think it'll add a jolt to the tech market?
Well, I think this is great news when you have a tech giant like IBM announcing that they're going to make a significant investment at home. And remember, that's exactly what the Trump administration is trying to encourage.
Yep.
They are trying to encourage investment in the United States domestically. So as more of this happens, it benefits our country. And listen, IBM stock over the past year up 12%. So we'd like to see a company have success and reinvest all of that profits back into our country.
I mean, definitely. We've seen it from multiple automobile companies, and now a massive company like IBM following in suit, wanting to be right here in the United States. This is exactly what the Trump administration wanted. But how about this? So America's second largest grocery chain, Albertsons Company, is telling retailers it will not be accepting tariffs as an excuse for higher prices. The company, which operates more than 2,200 stores across 34 different states, as well as D.C., says while some exceptions they might be made, any invoice with an unauthorized tariff cost will be subject to dispute and may result in payment delays. All right, Dan, this is something different. Do you think we'll see Albertsons suppliers absorb these costs?
This is going to be a tough one for them, and I'll tell you why. Because in the grocery industry, the margins are very, very tight. So when you have suppliers, or in this case, as a result of tariffs, increasing their prices, it's difficult not to pass that along. So can they do it? Certainly they intend to. Someone has to pay for this, right? But what I think that they could do here is they'll simply not carry certain items in which the tariffs are unreasonably being passed along. So you may see less items or select items available in their stores as opposed to everything across the board.
Well, how about this, Dan? So one company not absorbing these costs is the Chinese retailer Temu, which is adding 145% shipment fees over the United States tariffs on Chinese imports. The company rose to prominence, of course, is a bit of a cheaper, maybe alternative to Amazon, but with the surcharge, the site has become a little less competitive. Do you think that we see Temu kind of dipping traffic over these new charges?
Yes, I do. I think that their sales are going to feel it here. And this is exactly what China does. They flood the market with cheap products. So it makes it much more difficult to buy American. So I think companies like Amazon, Target, Walmart, they will likely benefit from this. And again, this is what the Trump administration has been saying all along. This is what China does that leads to, quite frankly, unfair trade practices.
Yeah, that's what he wants. He wants fair trade. And then when you think about, what allegedly happens over there in China with, child labor allegedly and everything that's going on, I think that, buying U.S.-made products it's the way to go. Dan Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So great seeing you.
Thanks, Alex.